Alright guys, welcome back to the third part of probably what is going to be a four-part video. If I just kind of move this Mac down a little bit, and we'll go on to the third shelf. Actually, let's just put it up a little bit. I don't want to reveal what I've got straight away before you see it. It could kind of ruin it a bit, I guess. Or maybe not. Anyway, so the first one up is Mass Effect 2. I was just talking about this at the end of the previous video, and yeah, I've just not got round to playing this yet. It's sealed still. Obviously, it's meant to be absolutely amazing. Just come out on the PS3 as well, which is it's kind of interesting development. That I'm not sure how that's going to work. I mean, are they going to include elements of the original Mass Effect? Because obviously, Mass Effect, the first game, wasn't out on the PS3. Or are they just going to like have a big intro? You know, like a I don't know. I'm going to have like an intro to the game, so everyone, all the PlayStation owners, can figure out how the universe formed and how the game kind of started. Or are they just going to skip that and just start with Mass Effect 2? I don't know how it's going to work, but it's going to be interesting. Either way, it doesn't affect me because I've not played either game yet. So that's that. Next up is Medal of Honor Airborne. Now, I did actually enjoy this. The best thing of all that I liked about it is being able to parachute wherever you want to go in the game. I thought that was, well, within reason, I guess. But I thought that was a really good kind of inclusion, a nice addition, something new, you know, a novel approach to it, and it just gave you that little sense of a little bit more sense of freedom, you know, rather than just you will do this, you will do that. You can kind of have a little bit of a choice over what you do, and I like that. In terms of the game, it's all right. It's pretty solid. It's not amazing, but it's not poor either. It's a decent game and probably cheap these days as well, like a lot of these games will be. I didn't really think much of the AI, got to be honest. But then I guess it depends what difficulty level you play it on. But pretty recommended, I've got to be honest. But only if you see it cheap. I think you'd be disappointed if you paid like full whack for it. Next one up is Mirror's Edge. Only ever played the demo, and that was a long time ago. And I kind of like the look of it. It looked very slick, with a very with the white and the blue sky. It looked all very nice and polished. But I questioned whether it was worth kind of $60. It just didn't really seem on the outset to offer enough content really and enough variation to warrant a full price purchase. So I always held back, and then when I finally did pick it up, which was relatively recently, I think it was less than $10. So not yet got around to playing it, but I do want to play it soon, and I will get into it. Next one up is just a bit of fun. This is nothing serious at all. It's Monopoly, and it's just a laugh. It's not to be taken too seriously. Annoyingly, you can't turn this guy off, so he's talking all the time, and you can't skip through it. But that's really a bit of a minor aggravation. It's still a good game, but clearly it's just a party game, just a bit of fun, not to be taken too seriously. The next three games here are all of the same kind of thing. So let's go for the first one. MotoGP 06. Let's stick that back. MotoGP 08. So clearly I haven't got 7 yet. And then they thought, clearly, well, you know what, let's not release an 09, let's release 0910. We'll do that one. 2 for the price of 1. This one's still sealed. Not got round to playing this. Apparently this is made by Capcom, funnily enough. You kind of associate them more with, like, beat-em-up Street Fighter and what have you. Apparently the MotoGP games are meant to be, well, they are. I've played the first couple. They're more of a simulation. They're very, very hard. Anyone expecting to go in there and just zoom around corners like it's some kind of arcade racer will be in for a shock, because you've got to brake in time, you've got to do everything, almost as if it was real life. Like I say, a simulation. So it's fun, it's challenging to say the least. It's certainly not everyone's cup of tea. Speaking of things which are not my cup of tea, MTV Pimp My Ride. Nothing to say about it. See you later. Even less to say about this. NASCAR 09. NASCAR. Jesus. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Apologies if you like it. We all like different things, but it's not my thing. Formula 1, on the other hand, that's different. NBA Live 06. Again, like I think I've said earlier on, I'm not much of a basketball fan. Not really much of an American sports fan, through nothing other than the fact that, I've never really been around it for obvious reasons. In the UK we have football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, and then slightly minor sports, if you like cricket and rugby. I like all that stuff, but it's whatever you're exposed to as a kid, I guess. And so American sports, with them not really being on TV over there and not making the back page news, I never really got into them. But yeah, obviously since being here, I kind of watch it a little bit more, I guess. Next up is Need for Speed Most Wanted. It really surprised me, actually. I played this quite recently for the first time, and it doesn't have... it does have not trophies. It does have achievements, but they're all like... They're like the first wave of achievements that it was just like, finish the game, 200 points or whatever it is. Beat the first boss, 100 points. Not like now where you can just do 3 headshots and you get 25 gamer score. So it was like kind of primitive achievements where you've really got to play the game to get the achievements. And you could say that's a good thing, I'm not really sure. But it annoyed me because I thought, well, I'll just stick Need for Speed on, get a few achievements, being a bit of an achievement whore. And then I quickly realised I'd have to probably complete the game. And I thought, you know what, change of plan, forget it. Next one up, Need for Speed Undercover. This one's still sealed. This one annoyed me because I bought this on Amazon. Brand new, like I said, still sealed. And it was something silly, like $6. And I thought, bargain, great. And obviously when it arrived, platinum hits. Thank you very much. So that annoyed me. But I can't be bothered to send it back. What's the point? $6, just not worth it. Another one which is still sealed, which I've just not got round to playing. It doesn't look very spectacular, to be perfectly honest. And that's Ninja Blade. I don't really know anything about it. So that's that. Now this one I was after for a long time. I featured it on a pickups video probably a few months back, and it's Oblivion, and it's the collector's edition. Now, I just very briefly put this on, just literally just to say that I've played it. I do know that I'm going to get into it eventually, and I do know it's going to take up a lot of time. It's that kind of game. It really sucks you into, the environment. Very immersive and thoroughly addictive by all accounts. So like I say, this is the collector's edition. Pretty sturdy, this bad boy. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into it. Not a lot I can say about it that you probably won't already know. It's meant to be a fantastic game. So that's that. Next one up is the Orange Box with Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2, and Portal. I think there's other things on there as well. This one, again, is still sealed, but I think I am missing out by not playing these because this is meant to be fantastic. And it was only about $10, so pleased to get that, as I just have a slurp of my drink. That must make a really good video. Alright, so next one up is Perfect Dark Zero. A really good game. Actually, let me pull the other one out as well, because this is Perfect Dark Zero with the steel tin and the slipcover. Which, like I say, in my pickups video a while ago, made me laugh, because they had this on that way. And when I was looking at that on eBay, I thought, wow, that's like a super rare version. Gotta get it. And then when I did get it, I just realised that the guy had put the thing on the wrong bloody way. So I didn't get a rare version at all. But it was only about $4, which was crazy. Now, so Perfect Dark is a fantastic game. You've got to play it. It's really cheap these days. And, yeah, a bit of an underrated and underappreciated game, I feel. Next one up is Prey. Never got round to playing this. I have another version, which I guess I will show you right at the end. But this is just a standard version. And, yeah, it's probably shown its age now, to be honest, just looking at the back. Doesn't look particularly spectacular, but that's that. And then we've got a spate again here of games in the same series, so let's quickly go through them. Winning 11 Pro Evolution Soccer 2007. And then we have 2008 with Cristiano Ronaldo on the front. And then we've got Lionel Messi on the front of these ones. 2009 and 2010. Now, I've said it before, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. I used to be a huge Pro Evolution Soccer fan back in the day. It absolutely trounced FIFA. But the last 3 or 4 releases, certainly the last 3 releases, it's kind of turned on its head. Konami, who make Pro Evolution, have got very complacent, just rehashing the same game. And FIFA, on the other hand, is evolving more, and they're introducing new parts of new bits of gameplay and new techniques. They're just the people who are kind of putting more effort into it, I feel. And as a result, the FIFA games are much better at this moment in time. But that's that. Now, if anyone's wondering where my FIFA games are, because we've gone past F, just because I'm used to the control system, I play FIFA on the PS3. I'm just used to that. So, yeah. So moving on, next one up is Project Gotham Racing 4. This is a fantastic game. And this one was only $5. In fact, it says $4.95. I got it for less than that. and I think that is ridiculous. It's still a good game. It's been out a few years, but it's still absolutely fantastic and thoroughly, thoroughly recommended. Next one up, I got this purely because it was made by Square Enix, so I thought, oh, that's going to be really good. Now, I'm not saying it's really bad, I just haven't spent enough time with it, and it's Project Sylphid, Arc of Deception. So a bit of a, think of something like Star Fox, you know, kind of space combat thing. If you can see that on the back. Probably not. But yeah, I wasn't particularly impressed. But still. Next one up, Pure. Now, I actually think this is severely, severely underrated. I never see anyone talking about it. I don't think I've ever seen it on a pickups video. And I might do a gameplay video of this. I know I always threaten to do gameplay videos and hardly ever do it. But I'd really like to try and, you know, maybe make people aware of something they might not be aware of. Which is why I did the Blur game a while ago. And I might do one for this. A really good game, just to laugh. It's just kind of quad bike racing. Made by Disney, funnily enough, so you can expect some kind of polished graphics, which look very nice. Tell you what, my voice is going. I'm going to have another swig of drink. And I'm just recovering from a cold as well, which does not help. Bit of laryngitis kicking in. In fact, my voice is probably going to go before the end of the video. A combination of stuttering, fluid, and coughing will get me through this. Alright, so next one up is 007 Quantum of Solace. Still sealed. Now, I saw this on SNEStastic's video, maybe even a year ago. Well, I guess it was less than a year ago. Whenever it was. And I thought, I really like the look of that. It looked really good. And I'm a big Bond fan anyway, so I thought, well, let's get it. And I think it was like $6, which was silly. But I've not obviously got around to playing it, but check out Pete's video. You know, you probably have to scroll through quite a few, because I know he's done a lot. But yeah, check out gameplay for that, because it looks really good, and you'll get it really cheap. Next one up is Red Dead Redemption. You know, it's a fantastic game, but it's one which I've just not really got into. To me, even though it's a great game, and I definitely will get back into it, it just seems to be a game where you can just do nothing, which I guess is maybe the appeal to some people. But you can just walk around, you can get easily sidetracked by missions or just shooting random people in like, the desert and stuff. Which, like I say, is good on one hand, but then you kind of look at the clock and you've been playing like an hour and you've really done nothing other than shooting random people. And, yeah, so as a result, I've never really got to grips with the game. I should really, or I don't know if you'd even want to see this. They're all boxed, or pretty much all complete anyway. There's one or two which I haven't got the instructions, but... So yeah, an excellent game. And actually, I've just downloaded the DLC, you know, with the Nightmare Collection, I think it's called, or whatever it is. It's basically like Call of Duty Nazi zombies, essentially, but based in the Wild West. And I think there's some multiplayer co-op maps and other stuff. So yeah, I downloaded that. Not tried it yet, but I'm really looking to get into that. Next one up is another sealed game, and this one is Resident Evil 5. Now, despite the fact that it is sealed, I have played this game before, and I do like it. But I only played it for about 20 minutes, but it was still enough to think it's a good game. Now, for me, I kind of prefer the original Resident Evil. I guess because, you know, it was the very first one, it introduced something new, the shock factor was there. You know, that kind of famous scene, at least for me, where in the original PlayStation 1 game, where you're walking down like a corridor, and all of a sudden this bloody dog or this wolf or whatever it was kind of bursts through. And I just remember me and my friend were playing at the time, and we nearly started screaming, which is completely ridiculous. But yeah, it was a shock, and it was kind of like one of them moments in video games that kind of, you know, you'd automatically think of. So it was a kind of a very pivotal kind of game for its time. And I remember actually Resident Evil, it's funny, because I was like 17 or 18 whenever the game first came out. And I said to my mum one day, I think I was maybe at college or whatever, and I said, oh, can you do me a favour? If you're in town, can you buy me a game? Obviously, I'd give her the money, you know, and she went, yeah, what one do you want? And I said, oh, it's called Resident Evil. And she went, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying you a game that is called Resident Evil. And she refused to get me Resident Evil, just based on the principle that it was evil sounding, which is kind of funny when I look back. Now, as it happened, she did end up getting it, but very much under duress. She really didn't want to do that, and I was just like, it's just a game, you know. It's kind of funny. So kind of funny memories of that. But anyway, I completely digress. Resident Evil 5, very good game, and thoroughly recommended. Next up is Ridge Racer 6. Now, this isn't a particularly great game as such, but I'm a huge Ridge Racer fan. Going back to the original, I mean, the stories I could tell about that is ridiculous, but I won't bother. Not this time, maybe in the future, because I'll just get, again, easily sidetracked. But loved it back in the day, absolutely loved it, and therefore it was only natural that I bought this version, you know, the 360 one. Yeah, I just think it looks pretty good. It's a solid enough racing game. You know, full price of kind of $50, $60 I think is obscene. But if you can pick it up for less than $10, again, I recommend it. And in fact, funnily enough, Ridge Racer 6 is much like Gun in the sense that it still hovers around that kind of $10, $12, $15 mark. So, which is kind of funny because I guess this is another one that came out in 2005. Let me have a look. Yes, this is another one that was 2005. So, maybe what we're starting to see is some of the early 360 games slightly increase in price. Some of the very early ones. I mean, obviously the likes of Call of Duty is never gonna, you're never gonna sell that for $40 in the future because they're just overly produced. But still, next one up, Beatles Rock Band. Now I'm a huge Beatles fan. They're not really my favourite band in the, ever. I obviously admit that they probably will be recognised as that. I can't really think of anyone else who had much of an impact like they did. I do love their stuff. I'm just not massively into them. But I do like them. I want to stress that. So I had to get this because I'm a music fan anyway. I've got a huge collection on my iTunes. It's obscene. I'm not even going to tell you because I'm embarrassed to tell you how much it is. But there's just a lot on there. And I've got all the Beatles stuff as well. And so I just being a fan of music, being a fan of the band, I wanted to get this. Now, I'm not going to show it on camera because it probably wouldn't fit. Anyway, I've got the big collection, the limited edition set with the drums, the microphone, the guitar, whatever else comes with it. It makes me laugh because they call it the limited edition. But again, in this day and age, when it comes to hugely produced games like this, they're not really that limited. But still, it was one which cost like $130, $150, whatever it was. It was kind of silly. It's a good game, but, it does kind of make me laugh sometimes. We sit and we play these games, and ultimately they're songs which we've probably got on our iTunes anyway, or on a CD, and we're just playing, we're paying again, just for the sake of having it on a computer or a console where we just press the buttons in. It's kind of silly when you look at it like that. But I guess it's just entertainment, it's a bit of fun. And then last but not least, on this third part, it is Green Day Rock Band. Now again, given my eclectic taste in music, I like pretty much anything. Give or take a couple of things, I guess. But I also like Green Day. I'm not obsessed with them or anything like that. I couldn't tell you everything they've ever done, but I do have everything they've ever done because I've pretty much got everything by everyone. But yeah, it's a good game. I've only just kind of touched the surface, to be honest with you. I've not spent a lot of time with it, but it was cheap, and I'm glad I got it. So there you go, guys. That's the 3 parts done. There's one more part to show you, and then the 360 collection will finally be finished. But then I'm always adding to the collection. I mean, the funny thing is, I've got like an extra few games arriving soon, so the collection is always going to be out of date. But I thought I'd do one before Christmas, just to show you what it looks like. Anyway, I won't witcher on about that because this is just the third of 4 parts. So I'll see you for the next part. Thanks for watching. See you later.